Hi everyone, I'm Courtney from Schneider's Driver Recruiting. Here today with Michelle, another one of our driver recruiters in our department. We're here to talk to you today a little bit about our truck driver pet policy. So we've had some updates and changes within the past month or so, and we're just going to kind of give you a little bit of an insight as to what those changes are. In the meantime, feel free to ask questions in the comments below. Michelle and I will answer those kind of as we go. Even if they're not related to necessarily the pet policy, we can answer what we can. But I'll kick it off and just hand it over to you, Michelle, if you want to talk a little bit about the pet policy and who it pertains to.
So with our updated pet policy, we used to have a strict no pet policy for all lines of business, solo or team. Now we have changed our stance a little bit on this. So specifically to team driving, team partners or team drivers can have one pet that is categorized to either one dog or one cat. No other types of pets are allowed. And I really want to clarify, this is for our team drivers specifically. Unfortunately, at this time, our solo drivers do not qualify.
Right. Now with a team as well, so to kind of piggyback off of Michelle, with our team drivers, we do ask that you it's for a formed team. So if you and your team partner already know you're going to partner up, you can bring on, board that pet. If you are entering in our orientation as a team that you don't have a team partner yet, we wouldn't be able to get you into the truck with a pet until you officially have that team partner. And there are a lot of little moving parts will be taking place, but it's a lot of, there are certain reasons, and I'll let you, Michelle, tell us why, because we get the question, well, why can't I bring my pet on if I don't have a team partner? So why do we do it just specifically for teams?
So with our formed teams, there's some things that just are better able to assist with the pet. Many teams work with their significant other or are related and will be away from home for longer periods of time and don't have the opportunity to take care of the pet. Also, it wouldn't be distracting to the person that is driving because the other driver can assist with those pets' needs. Mm-hmm. And you're not slip seating in a truck. The truck is dedicated to that formed team. So we don't have any issues with the next driver that gets that truck having allergies or something similar to that.
Yep, essentially, yeah. And I kind of want to piggyback off of what you said too regarding being able to assist. So safety is our number one core value. So in a team situation, that second person or the passenger, whoever's not driving, can kind of keep an eye on the pet and make sure that they are, in case anything were to go wrong with the pet or something, they have something that needs to be addressed right away. The passenger or the team driver that's not driving can kind of take care and, help the animal in that instance. And then it's just not a distraction as well to the driver, because that's our number one core value. We want to make sure that you are not, when you're driving, you're attentive to the road, focusing on everything that is driving. So we got to make sure that you are focused and safe. So you can continue we're talking today about pet policies and a team pet policy, I should really refer to it as. And different questions are coming in, whether regarding to the pet policy or anything else. So Mike had already commented and said, I had my CDL in Oregon, but just lost it due to illness. What do I do to get it back? So Mike, a couple of different ways. If your your Class A CDL was downgraded, so you no longer hold a Class A, a couple of different things. Some locations might require you to do a full new truck driving school. Others might just ask you to update your license, your physical, your DOT physical, or just take a refresher course. So each state's a little bit different. But there are lots of different ways to get that taken care of. So I would maybe first address your local DMV to say, hey, what do I have to do to get this upgraded? And they should be able to help you out. So, so curious, back to the team driving policy. So the pet policy is one of the new updates we made with our teams. Michelle, do you kind of want to go through other big changes we had with team driving in the past couple of months, whether it be pay, sign-on bonuses, all that fun stuff?
Yeah, so as Courtney mentioned, pay and sign-on bonuses have gone up. From my perspective, I'd say it's a significant change, so something that I definitely look into. Just kind of researching and looking into, asking your recruiter about if you're on the fence about, do I want to do solo driving? Do I want to do team driving? Another great opportunity with our team driving is that if you don't have a farm team, you don't have a brother, sister, dad, whoever that you want to team drive with, or they don't have their CDL, we have a team matching program. So we do send a survey out if you indicate yourself as a driver that is interested in team driving but doesn't have a teammate. It'll ask you a few questions to help kind of with operations, being able to narrow down somebody that would be a good compatible match with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And another big program we rolled out here in the last couple of months is our guaranteed pay program. So basically, if you are driving, and let's say you have a rough week, you don't get as many, you and your teammate don't get as many miles as you would hope to have gotten. If your paycheck is below $1,000, we'll actually bump it up so that your guaranteed minimum is $1,000, which is pretty spectacular. So it's for each driver during that week, and it's for the first 3 months that you're on board with us. Now, if you get more than that $1,000 for the week, fantastic, and you are knocking it out of the park. But it's just there as kind of a safety net for those first couple of months. It's great for our new drivers as well too. So if you're just having kind of getting your feet wet and may not have as many miles as you had hoped in those first couple of months, we can definitely help you out with that as well too. So great question. A lot of questions coming in. Mario asked, how long does training take? And do I have to relocate for it? So Michelle, I'll kind of let you tackle that one real quick.
Great question. So we actually match you to a position out of your area. So you will be based out of your hometown or wherever you are, your physical address is. And then for team driving, we do have specific locations for orientation, which include West Memphis, Indianapolis, Indiana, Phoenix, Arizona, and I believe those are the 3, correct, Courtney?
Yep, correct. Yep.
So those would be our 3 locations. We would provide your transportation out there if it is needed. We would provide the hotel, and then you also get paid during orientation.
Absolutely. And depending on the type of account that you're applying for, whether it be team or something else, that would determine how long your orientation is. Your recruiter can go through with you as well, kind of how long to be expected, but you don't have to relocate for orientation. It's just kind of a visit essentially to that specific location. So great question. Mario also asked, does Schneider have any financial aid? So in terms of, if it's in regards to getting your Class A CDL, I assume that's what the question's referring to. We do offer tuition reimbursement. So anything you pay out of your own pocket with a lender, with your GI Bill benefits, we can actually reimburse that directly to you. And we would do that in $200 payments a month after you've been with us for 30 days. So that's it. That's if you're solo driving. If you're on a team account, it's actually $400 a month. So a lot of great ways to get another, extra added bonus on top of what you're already making on the road. So good question, Mario. Alexander asked, how long does it take to get a truck assignment after you complete orientation? So Michelle, I'll let you kind of take that one away.
So that'll vary depending on just what's available, what equipment we have available. But we do guarantee at least a 34 to 48 hour reset upon completion of orientation.
Right, absolutely. I think a lot of people are nervous that they're going to be sitting for, a week or whatever after they complete orientation before they get into a truck, and that's just truly not the case. you'll have a meeting with your manager that you'll have at the very end of orientation, and they'll chat with you about when, where exactly you're to pick up a truck. And most likely it's within days of you completing orientation. So it's a quick turnaround, but we want to get you into a truck and let you start making money. So good question. Jason asked, do you have any local driving jobs in Central California? These are one of my favorite questions because it's like such a broad question. And Rochelle and I know a lot of different accounts and jobs that off the top of our heads, you know, look at local driving jobs in Central California. What I would recommend, Jason, go to schneiderjobs.com and type in your zip code. There are filters on the left-hand side that can filter if you were looking for local, if there's any available in your area. And if there is, then you can apply directly to that through the Apply Now button. So, and that goes for anyone, no matter where you live, everything's based on zip. Search that by your zip code. So good question. And then Michelle, I'll let you take over Alan's question.
Alan's question.
Yep.
How does the team matching program work if you have a pet?
Right.
So good question. Has the surveys been updated if you want to have a pet or not, or if that's something of interest? That is also within our own systems that we make notes of, where we can update that. So it's just kind of making sure that we're finding that compatibility. Once you have that formed team, then we can move forward with those discussions.
Right, absolutely. And you cannot get into a truck with the pet until you have that team partner. So we'll work it out, and you have to get through orientation as well too. So there is some time that we'll be working with, matching you to different people, seeing who has a pet, who doesn't have a pet, who's okay with their team partner bringing a pet on board. So there's a lot of different little phases, but just let us know ahead of time if that's something that you're interested in. And like Michelle said, we can kind of go from there and figure out what works best for you and the team partner. So really, really great question. A couple other things too regarding, the pet policy. I had a driver ask, do we restrict to what kinds of pets or what kinds of dogs or whatever it might be? So as Michelle stated earlier, it is either just a cat or a dog. Can't be, unfortunately, your iguana or your hamster or whatever it might be. It is just restricted to one cat or one dog. And there are specific breeds that are allowed or not allowed, I should say. Those that are considered, quote, more, aggressive would not be allowed. But that's something that we can have a discussion with as well, too, when you come on board. Your manager will be the one helping you with all the paperwork and making sure that you have all that information to make sure that you can get the pet into the truck as soon as possible. So I'll let you, Michelle, take the next question here from DA real quick.
From Simon, I would like to drive the Northeast, but would Schneider hire from my zip code 98125 Seattle? I'm not a CDL holder. So the first step, we definitely do hire from the Seattle, Washington area. First step would be obtaining your CDL. So like Courtney mentioned previously, we do offer tuition reimbursement. So that's going to be the big thing. And then just kind of narrowing it down to, once you obtain your CDL, what positions that we have available. We do run all 48 states. Most of our team positions do. So if that's something that you would be interested in, definitely would encourage that. And it's also a really good opportunity just to learn so much information while you're brand new to the industry as well. In regards to solo driving, we do have accounts on that West Coast that do run larger areas. So it just depends on what's available at the time that you're ready to apply.
Absolutely. Great question. Another thing, as I was thinking kind of more regarding the pet policy, and some people ask, well, what exactly do I need to bring along to show that, I want to bring my pet? A couple of different things. You will need full paperwork showing that your dog or cat is licensed and fully vaccinated, so has all whatever shots they need to have. And then there will be, a way that we want to make sure the pet is secure in the truck. So some sort of leash of some kind will need to be brought along. And we'll go through and talk to you a little bit about cleanup requirements as well too. So if you do have an accident of some kind, or you have a dog like I do that sheds profusely, or you now have to get out of the truck, how do you go about, cleaning that and things like that? So there will be paperwork that will be asked of you, along with guidelines that we expect you and your teammate to follow if you do bring a pet aboard, as a team too. So just kind of keep those in the back of your brain when you're, thinking about bringing that animal or pet on board, because they can, it's great to have another companion, but we want to make sure everybody is safe, essentially. So great question. Now, Cole is asking, what if I'm a friend, we both have our Class A permit, and we want to be team members, and we have a pet? That's a lot of things. So, Michelle, I'll let you take that one real quick.
Let me just read through that question real quick again. Okay, so I guess my question is, are you guys in truck driving school, and are you guys on that path, or are you still looking to kind of work through going to school to obtain that Class A? If you are in truck driving school and you're progressing in that direction, wonderful. Really, next step is just kind of here. For orientation, the pet cannot come along. For orientation specifically, pet can't come along until you're officially in your truck with your form team.
Absolutely. I'm glad you clarified that too, because while you and your team partner might be in orientation and training, you're not technically in your own form truck yet. So you do have to complete the orientation prior to that pet coming on board. So that means somebody watching the pet while you're in orientation, that might have to be something you'll have to chat a little bit about, and get a little bit more information about as well too. But great point to clarify as well. Rhonda asked, is there a deposit to bring a pet in case a driver leaves the truck gross and nasty? Great question. There might be some additional fees as well. Now, in terms of a deposit, not that I'm fully aware of, but I do know there could be some sort of cost or fees if the truck is being not cleaned out, or is left in a kind of a gross, nasty, or on a.
I'm going to interrupt you here, Courtney.
Do you have
So there is actually a $300 non-refundable cleaning fee in order to bring the pet in the truck.
Perfect. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I hadn't gotten that question yet, so that is fantastic. So great question for Rhonda. So yeah, there is that fee if you don't clean up, to that you'll be required to pay. So thank you, Michelle. Cole, following up, Cole, who has their Class A permit, and our team partners, they don't have their Class A yet, but looking for a company wanting to drive together. That's fantastic. So I would, highly recommend both of you apply. You can talk to the same recruiter, separate recruiters. Michelle and I actually have a husband and wife that we're both working with, but we can work with that as well too. So yeah, get that application filled out at schneiderjobs.com, and we can walk you both through the process and at least get you pre-qualified so that when you do have that Class A, we can get you scheduled for orientation. So good question. And any other questions too after we wrap up today? If you want to continue asking them, we will answer. I really think we did a great job diving deep into that. If you have any other questions prior to coming to orientation, chat with your recruiter or call 800-44-FIDE. Michelle, do you have anything to wrap up, follow up to that at all that we might be missing?
No, I think we covered it all. Just thank you for being here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a big change. It's something that, since I started, was always a no, sorry, we don't allow that, or no, sorry, we don't. So a nice different change, especially for our teams that are looking to just have that furry companion. So if you are interested, go to schneiderjobs.com, apply, and then give us a call at 800-44-FIDE. You can be talking to me or Michelle, and potentially come on board. So we hope to see you soon. Thanks, guys.